In 2001, Professor Vivian Chan became the first Chinese scientist to be elected Honorary Fellow of the Royal College of Physicians, London. She has been instrumental in establishing DNA technology in Hong Kong and promoting the benefits of related research, including improving diagnostic techniques.
One of which is the manufacture of a DNA microarray, which allows us essentially to detect a large number of mutations for any condition or any gene.
And while Professor Chan has been working on diseases like thalassemia, she is also keen to research other genetic conditions.
Another topic that I would want to work on is early detection and screening for cancer. And I hope to be able to develop our diagnostic technique arrays for this so that it would be available to the general population in Hong Kong.
I invite Mr. Cui Wai-Guan to receive a certificate of appreciation from the Council Chairman. Council Chairman, I present Cui Fuchun Professor in Molecular Medicine, Vivian N.Y. Chan.
Professor Chan Tak Mao is a world expert in the treatment of kidney diseases that complicate systemic lupus. His pioneering treatment that improves the outcome of patients considerably has been established internationally as the new first-line therapy.
One of our major achievements is that we have devised a new form of immunosuppressive treatment regimen that has replaced the sort of previous standard therapy that has been used since the 70s.
Professor Chan hopes the endowment will allow his team to uncover new methods to tackle the disease in terms of prevention or treatment.
We are also doing a lot of basic studies, trying to look for the unknown mechanisms that lead to disease in lupus nephritis. It can increase the understanding of a lot of mechanisms leading to other types of kidney diseases as well.
I invite Professor Richard Yu to receive a certificate of appreciation from the Council Chairman. I present Yu Professor in Nephrology, Daniel T.M. Chan.
Chief of the Division of Neurology, Professor Ho Shu Leong is a leading expert in Parkinson's disease and heads clinical and research teams working in this field.
We still do not have any form of treatment that is evidence-based that can actually change the rate of progression of this illness. And that's why there is a huge effort at this moment to try to look at processes which actually cause disease to progress.
His work has been recognized internationally and is at the forefront of studies into this neurodegenerative disease. He will use the endowment to further his work and to improve the quality of life for sufferers of Parkinson's disease.
I hope that we can certainly use these funds to leverage our research to answer these very important questions which affect a very elderly population.
I invite Mr. Edwin Leung to receive a certificate of appreciation from the Council Chairman. Council Chairman, I present Henry G. Leung Professor in Neurology, or Shu Leung.
Professor So Kwok Fai is a pioneer in the repair and regeneration of the central nervous system. Head of the Department of Anatomy, his research is at the frontier of neuroscience.
This is a very exciting area of research So my work would involve using various technology, including nanomedicine, to try to improve and repair the brain after it's damaged.
Professor So and his team specialize in treating patients suffering from strokes, trauma, and neurodegenerative diseases.
In all those situations, the nerve cells would be damaged. And what my research hopefully would do is to protect those damaged neurons and to promote them to regenerate their connections.
He would use the endowment to continue research into the repair and regeneration of the nervous system, particularly in the use of nanotechnology.
I invite Mr. George Ho to receive a certificate of appreciation from the Council Chairman. Council Chairman, I present Jessie Ho, Professor in Neuroscience, So Gok-Fai.
Professor Raymond Chung is a neurology specialist and a recognized expert in stroke research. He has pioneered applications of advanced neuroimaging technology.
My research are related to different aspects of stroke and cerebrovascular disease, from the bench to the bedside. My study on the value of functional MRI in the brain activation during acupuncture in stroke patients, this is something that is actually leading in the world.
As Director of Acute Stroke Services, Hong Kong West Cluster, Professor Chung is responsible for working with patients across the district. He will use the endowment to expand his studies into how brains restore function after strokes.
It is important to expand my research group, and so that we can actually do much better, in our research activity on both the clinical side and the laboratory side.
I invite Mr. Benjamin Lee to receive a certificate of appreciation from the Council Chairman. Council Chairman, I present Lee Man Chiu, Professor in Neuroscience, Raymond T.F. Chong.
Professor Irene Ng is a leading expert in liver cancer. Acclaimed for identifying tumor suppressor genes, she is investigating and dissecting the molecular and cellular mechanisms underlying the pathogenesis of the disease.
If we know how a cancer arises or develops from the patient, we then will devise better diagnostic method to pick up the cancer early so that it is treatable, it is operable.
Professor Ng will use the endowment to take further her research to identify new genes to help understand how cancers form and whether they are good targets for new drugs.
We can go deep into the mechanism, what we call the cellular pathways, or to discover novel genes that play an important part in the formation of liver cancer.
I invite Ms. Amanda Locke to receive a certificate of appreciation from the Council Chairman. I present Loke Professor in Pathology, Irene O.L. Ng.
Professor Lam has worked at the Department of Community Medicine since graduating from Hong Kong U. He is a well-known public health educator, researcher and advocate specializing in tobacco and other lifestyle-related diseases.
We have been doing research looking at the harmful effects of active smoking as well as passive smoking, and we try to translate our research evidence to support government policy and tobacco control measures.
For Professor Lam, Vice Chairman of the Hong Kong Council on Smoking and Health, this means informing the public and legislators and lobbying for more stringent legislation.
We are very grateful for the endowment donation from Professor Warren Simmons. So we hope that we will expand our research to translate the advances in genetics and genomics into better public health.
I invite Dr. Ronald Zimmerman to receive a certificate of appreciation from the Council Chairman. I present Sir Robert Cookwell, Professor in Public Health, Nam Dai Hing.
Professor William Way is an ear, nose and throat specialist whose pioneering operations for nasopharyngeal cancer have helped to establish the department as an internationally recognized center for ENT head and neck surgery.
The rest of the world are looking at us as a reference, and we have surgeons coming from different parts of the world to learn the techniques of surgical resection.
This procedure was developed to treat patients with persistent tumors at the central skull base after conventional treatments had failed.
Previously, there's nothing much we can do to help these patients, but now we have developed, through research, surgical resection for these patients. We now know how much to reset and how to help these people to recover so that they can live a normal life afterwards.
Professor Way will use the endowment to continue research into all aspects of ENT surgery and to help patients' rehabilitation.
I invite Dr. Marian Goldchild to receive a certificate of appreciation from the Council Chairman on behalf of these doctors. Council Chairman, I present Lei Shipui Professor in Surgery, William Way.
Over the past few years, the University of Hong Kong has invited world-class academics, such as Nobel laureates, fellows of the Royal Society, or members of the US Academy of Science to spend time at Hong Kong U. Thanks to a generous 20 million Hong Kong dollar donation from Dr. Mok Hing Yu in February, the first permanent endowment to support the appointments of visiting scholars has now been established. The Mok Hing Yu Distinguished Visiting Professorship Scheme is aimed at attracting top academics to spend time here to enhance the university's visibility in the international community and to establish links with institutions leading in specific disciplines. The scheme also aims to provide opportunities for our teachers to interact with world-class scholars and to provide the impetus to promote the development of targeted academic areas.
I invite Dr. Mok Hing Yu to receive a certificate of appreciation from the Council Chairman.
Professor Tsai Hung Fat is a heart specialist pioneering several new treatments, including stem cell research for use in cardio regeneration. He and his team are also at the forefront of conducting clinical trials with human patients in this field.
We are the first group in the world to using a novel catheter-based approach to transplant the patient's own bone marrow cell into the heart to regenerating the blood vessel in the patient's heart.
Professor Tsai's research on the use of this new technology has been widely publicized. He will use the endowment to continue his work in the field of cardio regeneration medicine and conduct further studies.
We are now planning to do a bigger clinical trial in different parts in Asia, hopefully to confirm our result and hopefully can make it widely used in treatment of patients with severe heart disease in the future.
I invite Dr. David Mong, on behalf of Dr. William Mong, to receive a certificate of acknowledgement from the Council Chairman. I present William M.W. Mong, Professor in Cardiology, Xie Hongfa.
Professor Benjamin Wong is a global leader in the prevention of stomach cancer. Through the findings of a groundbreaking study in Fujian, he is now one of the top 1% most cited scientists in clinical medicine.
Our research result has influenced the clinical practice all over the world, mainly in areas where stomach cancer is high. All the countries will be trying to adopt our research results.
As a result of Professor Wong's findings that stomach cancer is caused by the Helicobacter pylori bacterium, 1/3 of patients can now be saved. An awareness campaign has been launched to promote early testing, a project he would like to expand.
With this endowment, we are able to further our research in different areas of China and hope to benefit different population groups.
I invite Dr. Simon K. Wiley to receive a certificate of acknowledgement from the Council Chairman. Council Chairman, I present Simon K. Wiley, Professor in Gastroenterology, Benjamin C.Y. Wong.